Welcome to Torah Truth for Us with Linda. The Scroll of Nahum. The Burden of Nineveh. The Book of the Vision of Nahum the Elkoshite. God, jealous and avenges. Yehovah avenges and Yehovah is furious. Yehovah takes vengeance on his adversaries, and he reserves wrath for his enemies. Yehovah, slow to anger and great in power. And Yehovah will by no means leave the wicked unpunished. In whirlwind and storm is his way, and clouds are the dust beneath his feet. He rebukes the sea and makes it dry. He dries up all the rivers. Bashan and Carmel wither. The blossoms of Lebanon wither. The mountains quake because of him, and the hills dissolve. Indeed, the earth is upheaved by his presence, the world and all the inhabitants in it. Who can stand before his indignation? Who can endure the burning of his anger? His wrath is poured out like fire, and the rocks are broken up by him. Yehovah is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble, and he knows those who take refuge in him. But with an overflowing flood he will make a complete end of its sight, and will pursue his enemies into darkness. Whatever you devise against Yehovah, he will make a complete end of it. Distress will not rise up twice, like tangled thorns, and like those who are drunken with their drink. They are consumed as stubble completely withered. From you comes forth one who plots evil against Yehovah, a wicked counselor. Thus says Yehovah, though safe and likewise many, and yet in this manner they will be cut off, and he will be passed through. Though I have afflicted you, I will afflict you no longer. So now I will break his yoke bar from upon you, and I will tear off your shackles. Yehovah has issued a command concerning you. No more of your name will be sown. Out of the house of your gods I will cut off the carved image and the molded image. I will prepare your grave, for you are vile. Behold, on the mountains, the feet of him who brings good news, who announces peace. Keep, O Judah, your feasts, perform your vows, for no more will the wicked one pass through you. He is cut off utterly. Chapter 2. The one who scatters has come up before your face. Man the fortress, watch the road, make strong your loins, summon all strength. For Yehovah will restore the splendor of Jacob, like the splendor of Israel, even though devastators have devastated them and destroyed their vine branches. The shields of his mighty men are red. The warriors are dressed in scarlet. The chariots are fire of steel when he is prepared to march, and the cypress spears are brandished. The chariots race madly in the streets. They rush wildly in the broad places. Their appearance is like torches. They dash to and fro like lightning flashes. He remembers his nobles. They stumble in their march. They hurry to her wall, and the mantlet is set up. The gates of the rivers are opened, and the palace is dissolved, and it is fixed. She is stripped. She is carried away, and her handmaids are moaning like the sound of doves beating on their hearts. Though Nineveh was like a pool of water through her days, now they are fleeing. Stop, stop! but no one turns back. Plunder the silver, plunder the gold, for there is no limit to the treasure, wealth from every kind of desirable object. She is emptied. Yes, she is desolate and waste. Hearts are melting and knees knocking. Also, anguish is in the whole body, and all their faces are grown pale. Where is the den of lions and the feeding place of the young lions, where the lion, lioness, and lion's cub prowled with nothing to disturb? Behold, I am against you, declares Jehovah of hosts. I will burn up her chariots in smoke. A sword will devour your young lions. I will cut off your prey from the land, and no longer will the voice of your messengers be heard. Chapter 3. Woe to the bloody city! It is full of lies and robbery. Her victim never departs. The noise of the whip, the noise of the rattling of the wheel, galloping horses and skipping chariots. Horsemen charging, swords flashing, spears gleaming, many slain, a mass of corpses, and countless dead bodies. They stumble over the dead bodies because of the many harlotries of the harlot, the charming one, the mistress of sorceries, who sells nations by her harlotries and families by her sorceries. Behold, I am against you, declares Jehovah of hosts, and I uncover your skirts over your face, and show to the nations your nakedness, and to the kingdoms your disgrace. I will throw detestable things on you and make you vile and set you up as a spectacle. And it will come about that all who see you will flee from you and say, Nineveh is devastated. Who will grieve for her? Where will I seek comforters for you? Are you better than Nahum, which was situated by the waters by the Nile, with water surrounding her, whose rampart was the Nile, whose wall was the sea? Ethiopia was her might, and Egypt too, without limits. Put and Lubim were among her helpers. Yet she became an exile. She went into captivity. Also her small children were dashed to pieces at the head of every street. They cast lots for her honorable men, and all her great men were bound with fetters. You too will become drunk. You will be hidden. You too will search for a refuge from the enemy. All your fortifications are fig trees with first fruits. When shaken, they fall into the eater's mouth. Behold, your people are women in your midst. The gates of your land are opened wide to your enemies. Fire consumes your gate bars. Draw for yourself water for the siege. Strengthen your fortifications. Go into the clay and tread the mortar. Take hold of the brick mold. There, fire will consume you. The sword will cut you down. It will consume you as the locust. Multiply yourself like the creeping locust. Multiply yourself like the swarming locust. You have increased your traders more than the stars of heaven. The creeping locust strips vegetation and molts away. Your officials are like the swarming locust. Your marshals are like hordes of grasshoppers settling in the stone walls on a cold day. The sun rises, and they flee, and the place where they are is not known. Your shepherds are sleeping. O king of Assyria, your nobles are lying down. Your people are scattered on the mountains, and there is no one to regather. There is no relief for your breakdown. Your wound is incurable. All who hear your report will clap hands over you. For on whom has not your evil passed continually? May Jehovah bless you and keep you. May Jehovah cause his face to shine on you and be gracious to you. May Jehovah bless you and keep you. May Jehovah lift up his countenance on you and give you peace. Yivarecha Yehovah v'yishmerecha. Yair Yehovah panav elecha v'yunech